Hello class, I'm making another video as some of you asked for another one just to clarify some of the concepts for chapter 3. So I'll be going over measures of central tendency and I'm going to be looking at variability as well. So first let's start off here, measures of central tendency, and let's talk about what we're looking for. So this is trying to describe the typical attribute of a variable. And that can look differently based on how your variable looks. So you have to choose which type of measure of central tendency is going to be the best fit. So let's start off with the mode, which I refer to as most, because you're looking at what attribute occurs the most. So here's an example. Let's say here is a class of 10 students, and these are their ages. So each student has one attribute, one age. So each of these are considered attributes. So for looking at the mode, we're looking at the most. So what attribute occurs the most, or what age is the most common? So if you look here, 21 appears 4 times. So this is the most that the number appears. So it's the mode. The mode would be 21 for this case, okay? And this level of measurement is good for nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So all of the levels of measurement. If you skip down to median, I refer to this as the middle. So you're looking for the exact middle of your data set, and that would be the middle. And the median. One of the good things about this is if there's an outlier, the outlier will not disrupt where the middle is. So by outlier, I mean a number that is very different from the rest of your data set. So here we have, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, and then it jumps over here to 47. This is an outlier. This is not a typical age. And so this would throw the average, which we'll talk about next, off. So here, to find the median, you want to find the middle. So all we would do is say, take off one from the right and one to the left, and you keep going. And here, because there's an even number, there's not an exact middle. It would actually be the average of these two numbers. So since it's the same number, that means the median here also is 21. Alright, so this level of measurement would not work for nominal level variables because you have to have a rank order to your attributes, or else you can't really find the middle. That wouldn't make sense. So at least ordinal. Now let's move on to the final one, which is the mean, also referred to as the average. So all you do for the mean is you add up all the numbers and divide by the number of attributes. So here, the total here would be, let's see, 230. And you would divide that by 10 because there are 10 attributes, which means that the average would be 23. So let's put here 23. Now, 23 gives you a much different picture than 21 does. So that means that this outlier is causing some problems. And that's when you would get into the trimmed mean as maybe a solution for that problem. So usually you take off the bottom and top 5% of your data set to try to get rid of those very extreme outliers. So here, let's say we took off 18 and we took off 47. Well, what would this average be now? So if we add up these 8 numbers, it would be 165. And we now would divide it by 8 because now there's only 8 attributes. And now it would be 20.63. So that is quite different than 23. So doing a trimmed mean for outliers is very beneficial. And as your data set gets bigger and bigger, as meaning you have more and more people, more data points, more attributes, the outliers don't affect as much, but it's still something to be aware of.